And the hits just keep on coming. Welcome back to CEREC 30 here live at the Venetian in Las Vegas. I'm joined by an esteemed group of gentlemen, Andrew Hall, Bob Conte, Bobby Chagger, and Markus Vollmann, and we're talking about Dentsply. And why don't we start with you, Markus, talking about the new materials that you're using these days. Can we start there?
Yes, we have analyzed the status of current products. We have now C30, this means 30 years old CEREC. The very first material with CEREC coming out was a beta block. It's a release chairside block. You can mill it and set it in directly. Later on, the demand for higher strengths come out. There was a new block coming from Ivoclar. It's the Emax. It's not a real chairside blank. You have to mill it. Then to fire it, it's about 15 to 30 minutes. And we thought we have to make a merger. So it's the time for merger on this exhibition. So we thought that we want to merge both worlds, make a real chairside blank with a high strength. And this is all about Celtra Duo.
And speaking of Celtra Duo, how about we talk about the aesthetics of this particular material? Because I know that you brought a little bit of a...
I did. Let me tell you about this. Celtra Duo, I find, is an incredibly aesthetic material. What happened was when they took the recipe to make the product, they added zirconia to it. But the addition of the 10% zirconia created a crystalline structure that was very, very small. And what it did was this. You take the block here like this, but when I put a light to it like this, if you can see it, I'm not sure if you can pick it out, you can see that transmission of light occurs really, really well. And what that means is that in the anterior, the opalescent effect of the base color of the tooth comes through. And what that does is you get an incredibly aesthetic result that matches the tooth underneath it. You know, the hardest thing to do, Bob, sometimes I say, is the single veneer on the front central.
Absolutely.
But if I use this material, the color comes through. I'm able to blend it better.
Chameleon effect.
And Bob, that leads us to you. I was thinking, how about some of the advantages that you see with Celtra?
Well, as a clinical dentist, we're always looking to increase our speed and efficiency. What I like about Celtra is it mills out very fine. It also mills out in a tooth-colored block, which may not be a big deal for some, but for those of us that customize our crowns, the fact that it comes out tooth-colored out of the mill is actually a big advantage for us. We can take the tooth to the mouth, we can do some customization, cook it, and we know exactly what we're going to get. So it's a pretty cool material.
Yeah, one thing Bob didn't talk about is that it doesn't tie us to a furnace either. It gives us as a clinician more options to choose to deliver the material however we like to. We do have the option to fire it if we want to, but we can polish it. It polishes very nicely, and so we can just deliver it that way as well.
Well, I'll also tell you, dentistry is in the margins, no pun intended, but because of Celtra Duo, when we mill the restoration, I'm able to check the color immediately to see, was I right? Did I have A1, A2, A3? What was my color? At this point, I can proceed to polish it or fire it right away for the higher strength of up to 380 megapascals when I go to heat treat it. So the savings and the time help the margins of the practice on the financial side.
Exactly.
Making it a win-win for everyone. Markus, we've been talking about the past 30 years and how far we've come. Let's talk about what we could possibly be thinking about, seeing, daydreaming about for the next 30.
That's a good question, but I think I have a dream. Every R&D guy must have a dream, and I think it's quite easy. You have a small device scanning your mouse situation, also scanning the dynamical function, and make a knob, transferring it to the small machine. Just build it up, coming out the finished crown in 10 seconds, and the clue is you don't have to glue it. It's self-fixable. That is a dream. Sorry, it's a Star Trek. Oh yeah. Be up, Scotty.
How about you, Bobby?
Well, when I look at it, I say to myself, if a patient of mine had decay, and I was able to remove the decay, wouldn't it be great if I could put something in that cavity, the preparation that I've done there? I want the crystals to grow inside of there. Grow on their own, and maybe I'll be able to control what the margin is, but attach themselves to it. Crystalline growth, we've always seen in the movies, or crystals do grow as a silicone.
Sure.
Why not just put it in the tooth and have it grow at a speed on its own?
Touching on the world of stem cell, almost.
That's right.
Yeah. Bob, how about you?
I was thinking along the same lines. I'd like to be able to grow enamel, maybe on these big tooth farms.
Right.
Right? Harvest it, grind it up, make it into a block, And there we go. We have the most biocompatible material on the planet.
Andrew?
I can't really. I mean, I'd agree with what they said.
It feels like sci-fi,
Yeah.
but it isn't.
Hey, this is
far
all
from it.
sci-fi right
It is,
now,
isn't
man.
it?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
We should make a prediction now because come CEREC 35, what will be there?
Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by and joining us today. Always enlightening.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back live here in Vegas. Stay with us, right?